today we will be tackling the Booktube Newbie Tag. Hi everybody, I'm Maya, and as I said, today is the day for me to complete the Booktube Newbie Tag. This is where, as a newbie on Booktube, I will be discussing why I have decided to start a Booktube channel, kind of my book preferences, and my hopes for the future! And there are a lot, so settle in. Question number 1. Why did you start this channel? Well, future viewers, I started this channel because in my time, 2020, there's a huge pandemic spread across the world called coronavirus, which resulted in my being home for hours on end without anything to do. And I thought to myself, Maya, what can you do to occupy your time? And then it occurred to me, I could talk about books to people who like books, and I thought that would be fun, so that is how I got here. Question 2. What are some fun and unique things you can bring to Booktube? Fun and unique things I can bring to Booktube. Well, I'm quite creative, so I hope to have a lot of fun videos that are a little bit more than the classic TBR, the classic wrap-up. I love those, obviously. I do them quite often on my channel, but I have some special ideas, including this one's coming up soon, your favorite characters as high schoolers. So that'll be kind of a fun parody thing that I can do. I am a theater kid at school, so I'm hoping I can incorporate that into my Booktube channel. And I'm also an artist. I love to draw and I love to write, and so I hope to add little sprinkles of that here and there to this here channel. Question 3. What are you most excited for about this new channel? I'm actually most excited to watch other people's Booktube channels. I'm kind of new to this whole thing. I only learned about Booktube about 3-4 weeks ago, and I'm really enjoying watching other people's videos and getting recommendations. I really love Haley and Bookland and Murphy Napier in particular. I also love Paperback Dreams. Those are some of my 3 favorite booktubers. They have a lot of fun videos. I enjoy a lot of the books they recommend, and I'm excited to read those books that they've read that are now on my TBR. So that would be it. Question 4. Why do you love reading? Harry Potter, Harry Potter, Harry Potter. That's probably why. When I was in 1st grade, my dad started reading Sorcerer's Stone to me, and I fell in love. Also, the Magic Treehouse books blew my mind when I were but a wee 6-year-old lass. But the reason I love reading, I think, is because I was introduced to it at such a young age as something to do to spark my imagination and creativity, and a way to kind of escape the world around me and go into someone else's shoes for a while. Nowadays, I love reading because I love learning about characters that have nothing to do with me. People I've never met the likes of or experienced the likes of. I really enjoy watching their stories unfold and seeing how their lives are different to mine and developing empathy. That's really important to me. Alrighty, next. What book or series got you into reading? I already answered that. Harry Potter, but let's talk about the books that got me into rereading, because between 5th grade and 9th grade, I kind of stopped reading for fun. I just focused on school books, and I never read anything for leisure. So the books that got me back into reading would probably be Anne of Green Gables, classic, love it. I read it as a youth, but I read it again as an adolescent, and it was even better. Another book that got me back into reading, I would say, would be, just really anything that Taylor Jenkins Reid writes. I've been really interested in, and the way that she writes, her writing style, the way it diverges from the typical chapter prose format of your everyday contemporary novel really intrigues me. So I'd say just books that have a little twist that I've happened upon by accident or recommendation. What questions would you ask your favorite booktubers? Let's see. I would ask Ariel Bissett how she learned about My Year of Rest and Relaxation. That is the novel I'm currently reading. I'm really enjoying it. It's super duper weird, and I just want to know everything she thinks about it. I want to know all of her thoughts and opinions. I would ask Murphy Napier how she makes her sound quality so good, because I struggle with that. And I would ask Haley in Bookland how she does her little animation thing at the beginning. It's like her as Alice in Wonderland reading a book, and then the Mad Hatter's hat like flips onto the H in Haley. It is so cool. I really would love to have an animation. So those would be the questions I would ask. What challenges do you think starting a booktube channel will be the hardest to overcome? School. We're doing online school, and during this time I was really hoping to get a lot of reading in, and then my district said, no, you gotta learn. And I agree, learning's important, but it does take away from the time I have both to film, to plan, and to read, as well as editing. No one tells you this, but editing takes forever because you say silly stuff and you trip over your words and you look ridiculous. So you have to cut those pieces out. I think the biggest challenge for me will be timing. I'm hoping to upload 3 to 4 times a week to both keep myself motivated and productive and to entertain people stuck at home during this time. So I think my biggest challenge will be the clock. Tick-tock, tick-tock. When did you start reading? Well, when I was 2, I memorized The Cat in the Hat and I pretended that I knew how to read. So I would read at Christmas parties. I would read The Cat in the Hat, and there was another Dr. Seuss book about hats. Small hat, big hat. Do you know the one I'm talking about? I don't know what it's called. But that one, I memorized those when I was small, and I would read them to my family to impress them, but I didn't actually know how to read at all. So I'd say I learned to read in kindergarten, obviously, but I learned to love reading when my parents told me stories before bed every night. Where do you read? Oh, let me show you. Hold up, 1 sec. All right, let's go. This is where I read. It is an armchair that used to be my dad's, but he didn't need it anymore, so I took it. Alrighty, the last question that is written here for the newbie booktube tag is, what kind of books do you like to read? I would say I really like all sorts of books other than graphic novels. I've never really gotten into graphic novels. I appreciate the art in them. I think they're really cool. They've just never been quite my thing, and I would like to change that. I have a couple on my TBR. We'll talk about that soon. But in general, I read probably fiction, read some fantasy. I love historical fiction, but realistic fiction is definitely my niche, and that's okay with me for now, although I am trying to branch out. Those are all of the Booktube Newbie Tag questions that I found on the internet. But before we go, I thought that I would ask myself some questions that I thought might be helpful to people who are new to my channel. Let's go. Hi, Maya. What kind of credentials do you have to talk about any of this book stuff? Good question. Absolutely none. I just have my opinion, and that is what I share on this channel. However, I did attend my my state's art school, and that was really fun, and I was a creative writing major there, so I know a thing or two about writing, although I am an amateur and I'm always learning, and that is one of the reasons I read, is to constantly learn and grow those neurons. What else do you like to do besides reading? Well, I really like theater. I perform a lot through my school and through my community. Recently, I played Lucy Pevensey in the play The Chronicles of Narnia, The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, and that was a real blast. I really enjoy singing. I'm in choir. I really enjoy writing, obviously. I really enjoy going on really long walks, and I also like yoga. Maya, what do you hope to get out of this booktube channel? I hope to meet fellow book lovers and to share my opinions so that other people are encouraged to read. I would love if reading became more of a prominent pastime in my generation. I feel like it's clouded by social media, Instagram, Snapchat, filters, all that jazz. I would really like if reading literature were incorporated back into the list of hobbies for people in my generation so that I could have people to talk to about books in real life. That'd be cool. What literary characters do you feel most kinship with? Anne Shirley, Hermione Granger, and I know she's not technically a literary character, but she's bookish, Rory Gilmore. What are your hopes and aspirations for the future? Well, I really want to go to film school. I love movies. Potentially I hate to say this, potentially a little more than books. I really want to either write screenplays or be a director or be an animator. So those are my dreams for the future, and Booktube is helping me accomplish that by honing my minimal video skills. And with that, everyone, I will leave you. That was the Booktube Newbie Tag. I hope you enjoyed. See you then!